All right, welcome back to our newest episode of Citizens United. I'm John, Noel.
Hey guys.
Robin's here. Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Thanks for everyone for showing up. Let me remind everyone about our stars, of course, and thank you for everyone for giving them to us.
Yeah.
99 cents gives us 100 stars. The more stars we accumulate, the better chance we have of getting advertising on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps us because somewhere down the road here, not only are we have to pay for the programs and stuff, we're thinking about obviously doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Niagara County.
Well.
Yeah, like To Catch a Predator in Niagara County.
Yeah, because we know they don't do a good job around here.
No, and can you imagine the people we will be able to reel in?
So many.
We're gonna do it.
Sure,
it's gonna happen.
I'm sure we'll catch D'Angelo again.
Oh, he'll be in there.
Right.
Oh, sure. Then we can call probation.
Yeah.
And they can tell us to shut up.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a probation.
Yeah.
What's probation gonna do? Hi guys. Hi everyone that's in here. Thanks for joining us. And then Vernon says, "What's up?" Well, we're doing podcasts. That's what's up. We're gonna be talking shortly about obviously the fallout after the D'Angelo plea deal, and you were in the courtroom. We haven't had a chance to talk to you because doesn't it feel like it's, I don't know, every Monday to Monday feels like it's like 20 days in between.
It feels like a month.
This whole week though was a tough week because after that, you found out some shit and stuff in there that really is kind of messed up because your cases and stuff get thrown away.
That's what bothered me. Yeah. That's one of the things that bothered me the most is that during towards the end, his lawyer stood up and said, we just want to make it clear. We just want to make sure as part of the plea deal, no other cases can be brought against my client. Like no other cases, all these other cases, no more sex crimes and stuff can be brought against him. They said, yep, you're correct. So the DA's office made a deal with him that, right, Bill? That's what they said, that no other sex crimes, no other cases can be brought against Nick D'Angelo, like in this case. So all the other victims who had cases against him, because there wasn't just 3. I don't think people understand that.
Right.
There were more than just 3 victims. There were other cases. So now those get dropped.
Exactly, Bill said.
Yeah.
And Scott, Cassie, all predators, we don't care. If you need help with anything. She says, are we doing all predators of all varieties?
Yeah, sure. Cassie's got something going on.
Oh, does she?
That she might be coming on here soon. I want to have her on with daycare issue with abuse.
Definitely.
At the daycare.
Yes, please. We would do anything like that. Because, let's talk about this real quick. I want to go down horrible memory lane. Remember, he was charged with 1 count of first-degree rape, B felony. He was charged with 2 counts of criminal sexual act in the first degree, another B felony. 1 count of sexual abuse in the first degree, a D felony. 2 counts of criminal sexual act in the third degree, E felony. 1 count of unlawful imprisonment in the second degree, which they call a Class A misdemeanor. 3 counts of patronizing a person for prostitution in third degree, a misdemeanor. And then there was the other thing that clock threw out was about unlawful imprisonment. Yeah. They got rid of that.
Because of the stat, and they said that in the courtroom because of the statute of limitations.
They love statutes.
Yeah, they love
it. That's the get out.
You're allowed to commit a crime as long as you run out.
Bill says someone new can come forward.
I hope they do. Yeah. There's definitely.
I'll tell you, I would understand why they wouldn't after watching this.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 cases that now New York State Police they actually investigated them and they're just thrown away.
Yeah.
How happy could they be about that?
I'm knowing the New York State Police, like the person I've spoken to, he's done a good job. I can't imagine that he's happy about this. I'm sure he's pissed with all the work that he's done and having to deal with so much shit throughout all this. I was calling him left and right.
And they tossed them out. Yeah. These are 3. Think about that out there when you're listening to what we're saying. They threw away 3 cases that were investigated and ready to be charged.
Yeah.
They just told you to wait. Wait.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were waiting for. Yeah. They should have put them all together.
They should have.
Make it 6. Make it a bunch of felonies. That's what I don't understand. I don't get that. So, okay, now he walks in there and he pleads to 4 counts of sexual abuse in the first degree. That's a D felony. 2 counts of criminal sex act in the third degree, an E felony, and 2 counts of rape in the third degree, an E felony. What was it like in the courtroom?
Well,
that you were when you were there?
Thank God Bill was with me because I was a
Right.
mess at first. I was getting dizzy and everything. But in the very beginning, Nick D'Angelo, when he was sitting with his lawyers, that Jessica Culpit
Right.
and Brian Melber, I caught them snickering and laughing a few times in the beginning. And then once it got down to him having to plead guilty, then he was mumbling. Like he didn't want to say, yes, yes, Your Honor, out loud. He's like, what's wrong? Like it totally changed. But you could tell he wasn't upset about the plea deal. Like he gladly took it.
Well, he should have been happy
And
with
the judge
it.
was great. The judge was so nice.
Oh,
she was very, very, caring about his feelings and
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't think anyone here in this room, Robin included, I don't think anyone's blaming a victim for anything.
Nobody's blaming the victim.
I certainly blame Lynn Rita and John Flynn or whatever his name is. I blame them.
100%. I don't think I've seen anybody blame the victims for agreeing to it. Nobody. It's just nobody. How could you think that 6 months in jail for all that is okay?
And we know it's going to be 4.
Yeah, it's going to be 4.
And you know what else too? Like, this is what's sad is.
Yes, I have a civil suit going against them. I've had one for a while.
What is sad is all they had to do was go, and this is why they weren't allowed to talk to you. All they had to do was go look at that video we showed 2 weeks ago about the Belter case.
Yeah.
Where in the Belter case, District Attorney Caroline Wotazik told those victims, just take the plea deal. Yeah. He won't be able to do it. He's going to violate and we'll put him away for 40 years.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did to these victims. They made them agree to the plea deal because they said, oh, there's no way he's going to not be able to violate his probation. He'll violate it, then he'll go away for 44 years. Yeah. They made them seem like this is the best deal. And then they made them terrified to go to trial. They made them terrified. So, of course, they're going to agree to it.
This is messed up what we just witnessed here, like in so many ways. Yeah. But from your prosecution, what they did to the victims is just screwed up, because if they would have just seen that Belter video, they would have then known. Like, oh, we're going to get screwed here because we're going to see that he's out on his phone. We're going to see him places. We're going to see him. They're not going to do anything about it.
And the best part is he's not even in jail yet. His sentencing isn't until July. So he still has all this time to go around, rape, abuse people, break the law, commit more crimes.
And they can't hold it against him.
No, they can't do anything because the sentencing hasn't happened.
Yeah, and no one's going to come forward. And he knows just as well as anybody, because of how it works, it takes time for people to come forward.
Yeah.
So by the time, what do we got here, Brittany? Why did they offer him a plea deal? Why didn't it go to trial?
Because the DAs are lazy. They are fucking lazy. They did not. The DAs were making us drag out for a long time. They didn't want to go to trial. They wanted to just give him a plea deal and get it over with.
Do you remember originally? This is gonna go back to when Clock was involved, and I was talking to someone today who I don't want to mention who it was, but someone who knows what they're talking about. And he's right. I remember this. Do you remember when there was a point where they were going to go to trial, maybe about a year and a half ago, and they stopped it because the FBI was involved?
Yeah. Yep.
For nothing.
Because
the FBI is doing nothing. No. They're not going. There's nothing happened here.
They should have got him for the phone tapping and everything. They haven't done anything with that. And think about that too. He was also in trouble for tampering with evidence, witnesses, and obstruction. That all went away. That all went away.
So, and you know what else is going away? Is this thing with forgery and the attempted tampering with public records. I asked someone today who should know, because he was supposed to appear in Niagara Falls City Court.
He ended up, actually, did you know, I didn't know this until the other day, that he ended up appearing in court for that right after the plea deal.
And what happened? Do we know?
He pled not guilty to all of it. Pled not guilty to everything, even though the grand jury indicted him and they have his DNA evidence on everything.
How am I going to say this? The person I talked to doesn't know that.
Oh, really?
I can't.
I didn't know that either.
But this guy should.
Yeah, you would think.
Because that's who everyone wants to bow down to and say that, oh, the media.
Yeah, you would think.
Wow. The media is bullshit. It truly, truly is. It is. Because they wait. They are so. They can come out and be all outraged after the fact. But when people are screaming and yelling, they don't pay attention. They have we're going to show a video here in a moment. They have your TikTok from December.
Yeah.
Where you're saying stuff. Why does it matter now?
And TikTok doesn't even exist anymore. So they saved that up from December.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand how they literally saw what you were saying. And now after he's already been a plea deal, now they're saying ooh, they were upset. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? It's too late now.
When I earned to report, I'm so sick of that whole until proven guilty. You know, like what?
You can report stuff.
You can still report. I've seen them do it before. You can still report on it and say, use your stupid word accused and stuff. You could still do that.
Of course you could.
Carlotto did it.
Carlotto did it. They did it with fucking that Murdaugh guy and stuff. Yeah. Those big cases. They do it with everyone. Who they want to do. Now this is what makes me mad. Don't even do the story now. This is how I feel. This is where I get pissed. Don't even do it. Right. Why does Channel 724 and everybody else start talking? It's too late. Right. You've done nothing. How many times have we contacted them? Yeah, and now you want to put out a video? Yeah. The only reason why I like this video is because you're on. Yeah. To be perfectly honest with you, otherwise it's crap. Yeah. Want to play it for everyone? It's about 2.5 minutes long. The only good thing is that Noel's on it. Otherwise, it's a big whole. Listen to what the woman said. Listen to this. He didn't even plead guilty to the rape. Okay. Yeah, here we go. It's about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Enjoy.
After pleading guilty, admitting that he sexually abused multiple victims. But tonight, some feel the terms of this plea deal do not match the crimes. 30-year-old Nicholas D'Angelo pleading guilty to multiple charges, including 2 counts of rape between 2016 and 2019. D'Angelo had forced sexual contact with 3 separate victims. His third victim was under 17 years old at the time. As part of his plea, D'Angelo will lose his license to practice law and cannot reapply in the future. He'll also have to register as a sex offender. But as 7 News reporter Kristen Moran explains tonight, some are frustrated over his expected jail sentence.
For years, there has been outrage involving Niagara Falls attorney Nicholas D'Angelo.
This is insane that this is being allowed to happen and that he's allowed to work in our courts.
This TikTok from December shows a woman upset over D'Angelo's sexual assault charges. And this petition created on change.org has nearly 3,000 signatures calling for him to be held accountable. And now he is, though some still believe his expected punishment doesn't come close to fitting the crime. With his guilty plea Tuesday, D'Angelo is guaranteed to serve no more than 6 months in jail, followed by 10 years of sex offender probation when he's sentenced this summer. One viewer writing on our Facebook page, 6 months is a joke. Another saying 6 months county jail time, disgusting.
He decided to plead guilty to the lesser charge of the D felonies that the district attorney's office offered him.
7 News legal analyst Florina Altschiller, who was not connected with this case, says while there may be frustration over the length of the time he'll serve behind bars, this plea will bring justice to the victims sooner, avoiding a trial.
But you have to keep in mind, he's not doing 6 months for rape. He's doing 6 months for the D felony sex abuse charges.
The Erie County DA's office says the victims agreed to the decision, saying in part, our office, with the consent of the victims, agreed to the plea to ensure that the defendant was convicted of felony sex crimes and will serve jail time, followed by 10 years of sex offender probation.
What's particularly concerning about this case is that this is somebody who is an attorney, who took an oath to protect people.
Altschiller also says D'Angelo's decade of probation will also be dependent on his sex offender rating and category.
He may have conditions like not using the internet, not having any contact with minors. Where he lives may be restricted.
Yeah, none of that will be restricted.
That won't be restricted.
Don't worry about that. Here's the thing that I don't get. He pled guilty. He did plead to third-degree rape.
I watched him plead guilty to raping every single one of those girls. I mean, I watched it.
And third-degree rape, which is whatever D felony, whatever it is, comes with a 1.5. I read this today on their New York State's thing. 1.5 to 4 years in prison. The only way that doesn't happen is when the judge feels like he or she, who is the rapist, isn't a danger to the public. So then instead, we'll just give him 10 years probation for it. She determined that he's not a danger.
Yeah, she definitely, I don't know, Bill, tell me if I'm wrong, but she didn't really seem like she was like disgusted with him or anything. She seemed like she was very nice to him, very fair, very nice to him. She didn't seem like she was disgusted or anything. I personally don't even think that she should even be on this case. Thank you, Jasmine. Love you too. She shouldn't have been on this case.
No, and I don't know how she could say that he's not a danger to the community.
Yeah,
I don't understand how that's being determined. She determines that in another part in the paper I wrote it down where because there's another opportunity where things could be done, and she said that he's not a danger to the community. She actually says those words, and I don't know what you have to do to be a danger. I don't know anymore.
About raping and trafficking and committing crimes is not a danger.
Because they even said, I was looking at some other stuff.
I don't care what level rape you plead to.
Right.
You're a danger to the community if you're raping somebody in the first degree, in the third degree, in the 49th degree, in the...
So the third degree and the second degree, and you're really, like, that's what's amazing. You're really, like, slicing thin lines. Like, are you kidding? Like, they really matter?
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? Yeah. What sexual... Listen to what this is, and tell me how disgusting this is. Rape in the third degree. Rape in the third degree, as said by New York State, is it's someone who engages in intercourse with a person incapable of consent other than being 17 years old. Being 21 or more, and the rapist being 21 years or more, engaging in intercourse with another person less than 17 years old. The rapist engages in intercourse with another person without person's consent is by some reason other than incapacity to consent. So basically it'd be someone saying, no, stop.
Yeah.
They're not incapacitated, like they're not, but they don't want you to do that. And they're saying no. That's rape and is a violent act.
Yeah, that's violent.
And you're giving them nothing for it.
Nothing.
That's not worthy of anything.
I would thought this judge would take a lesson from the whole Murphy and Belter thing. Like, like Bill just said, like, the judge clearly should have rejected. Yeah, like she could have rejected the plea deal. She could have said, like, this is ridiculous. It just seemed like she just sat there and listened the whole entire time. Goes, yeah, okay, well, is this what you want? Are you sure, Mr. D'Angelo, this isn't or did anybody force you to plead guilty to this? And like very, very concerned about his feelings and
well-being,
everything. She stopped.
Because, like, think about it. They did pay attention. They did exactly what Caroline Wojtaszek did, and they did exactly the Belter case.
Might as well just have Caroline Wojtaszek in there.
Wasn't it? It was identical though.
Yeah.
It's identical, and it's exactly. Go check out and we've showed it. We can show it again sometime. What the lawyer and the one victim says in the Belter case. My whole family is watching Belter on his phone at parties, and no one cares. We're calling probation. They don't care.
So for anybody who thinks, oh well, he's getting probation, so he won't be able to. Then this is what the DA put in people's heads. If he's not going to be able to, go by his probation, he's going to break his probation, and then he'll get 44 years. So she put that in the victim's head. Guess what? Like we said, we watched Christopher Belter break his probation, the same probation over and over again. Nothing was done. Nick D'Angelo is more connected than Christopher Belter is. He's more connected. He has more ties than Christopher Belter does. Do you honestly think that he's going to get in any trouble if he breaks his probation? No.
Not one Niagara County probation officer will do a damn thing.
Do you really think they're even going to pay attention for it to be even said that probation is broken? Like, I can't imagine that
too many people on probation they need to pay attention.
He'll just have to sign in. That's all.
Things that I would have to do on probation, he's not going to have to do.
Robin, he'll just have to sign in. Like, he'll literally have to. He'll have to sign. Like, you know what I mean? They isn't like they'll just make him sign it. Like,
Tony.
That's it.
Tony, he did assault assaulted somebody under 16.
Yeah, of course he did. Why not?
Yeah, Justin, you're right. Basso probably did call the paper. Sure. Basso is getting out of this too.
Oh wait,
clear. She snitched on Nick for the new charges. Janelle Faso, Judge Janelle Faso, that piece of shit, fat ass. She snitched on him and made it seem like it was all him. No, she had nothing to do with it. Now she's getting out of it.
Hey, do you want to know what sexual abuse in the first degree is?
Yeah.
He pled guilty to this too. Listen to this. This is great. Forcible compulsion. Other person is incapable of consent by reason of being physically helpless, or other person is less than 11 years old, or when the other person is less than 13, or actor is 21 or older. This is what he pled guilty to that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we go the whole route?
Not a danger.
Not a danger.
Right. He brought her to the boat. This is the minor. He brought the minor to the boat and to his offices. So to both of his offices and to his boat, which he tried getting me to go
boat and car. Yeah, for him. And what was this one? The one, I think it's the one we talked about before, the one you found on the dating site.
Yeah, dating.
And he did what he did on the side of the road to her.
Yeah, locked her.
And why don't we talk? There's one more that he pled to, and that is 2 counts of criminal sex act in the 3rd degree. Criminal sex act in the 3rd degree is something else.
Yeah.
This here is one that you got to hear. It's really something because you don't get anything for this. Criminal sex act in the 3rd degree, though, you could get up to 4 years in prison, but you will not if you have no prior record. So he had no prior record.
Well, he did, but they wanted to make it.
They pretend he did.
Yeah, they pretend he did.
Because he didn't. According to her, she said he didn't.
Yeah.
All right, criminal sex act engages in oral or anal sexual conduct with a person who is incapable of consent by reason of some factor other than being less than 17 years old. So it could be an adult. And they're not giving consent for these kind of acts. And, okay. Being 21 years old or more engages in those same kind of conduct with persons less than 17 years old. We know he did that. Engages in the same conduct with another person without the person's consent without being incapacitated. Once again, that's someone just saying no.
Right.
Which we all know, if you don't listen to someone saying no, you've committed rape. You could get 4 years in prison.
And that's violent.
It's violent, yes. When no is said and you don't listen to no, it becomes violent, I would assume. So now
even if there's not like kicking,
no, there's going to be punching and screaming. No, it's violent.
Yeah.
It's an act. If I came up to you right now, you two guys, and I had a gun, and I said, give me all your money, I'd go to prison.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't even have to touch you with the gun.
Right. You can look at the Iron County DA's Facebook page. There's people in prison all the time for way longer for doing things 10 times less.
Way less.
Whoa.
Way less.
Insane less. You know, I know this, and I mean it. I think about violent felonies. If you, this is the one, you pull a gun on someone and take their money, never touch them with that gun, don't shoot them, don't hit them to do anything, you're going to prison.
You spray paint a hateful word on a fence, you get
7 years in prison.
7
as bad
years.
as that is, it's disgusting, and surely, yes, of course, be fucking punished.
Yeah.
But how's that compared to this?
Yeah.
That this guy goes for 4 months.
Just sex.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
It's just rape.
That's the problem. When you watch that thing on Channel 7, watch the attitude of people.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to how they're talking.
Yeah.
He took the lesser plea.
But even listen to the sentences. You're saying 4 years, 4 years for some kind of sexual
1 to 5 years for 3rd degree rape. Yeah, I know.
And the victims are not feeling good after 1 to 5 years.
Right.
Now, did he plead guilty to the, I don't remember, the rape in the 1st degree?
No. They didn't even, that wasn't part of it. Sex abuse in the 1st degree, 2 counts of criminal sex act in the 3rd degree, and 2 counts of rape in the 3rd degree. That's what he gets to plead to. There's another thing though.
Lynn Rita, you're disgusting. I'm just saying right now. You told me, and I hope you're watching this, Lynn Rita. You told me that this is something that I was going to be satisfied with in the end. This is all going to come out the way that I wanted to in the end. You fucking lied. You did a terrible job. You were horrible.
Sex abuse in the 1st degree. Remember I read it to you just a few minutes ago?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that gives you? If you're found guilty of that? Only 90 days in jail. That's all they can give you is up to 90 days in jail. So he pled guilty to that, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Because the most you can get is so that's 3 months. Okay, nice. We tack on another 3, you get out in 4. What a day. You'll be out by Christmas.
Why wouldn't he plead to that?
Of course.
I'm not going to plead to that. I'm going to avoid going to trial and actually having to hear the evidence and see the evidence and listen to the other victims that were going to come forward and stuff. Well, of course he would plead to that. He gets out of it. He gets out of this all.
Yeah, he got out of it. And
anybody who thinks differently, you're fucking nuts.
You're a lunatic.
You really are nuts.
And you should be checked out too. Yeah. Because now he's been charged all in all. When you add in that other stuff, with the stupid where he was trying to tamper with the DA.
Yeah.
15 felonies he's been charged with in all.
Yeah.
At one way or another. And one of them was thrown out. And here we are. He was able to, this is the deal of the century. He's able to get out of this with only 4 months in county jail. So what's so different? What's there to even, this isn't a good day. That wasn't a good day for anyone.
There was no
win. They can fool yourself.
There was no win. There was a win for D'Angelo. That's
he
what
won.
It was. That he won.
And the DA's office won too.
The DA's office did.
Because
they can sit on their lazy ass.
And they can say, look what we did. They're actually proud. They're proud of it.
Bernie, it happens just because it's him.
Right.
And if you know the Christopher Belter case, his parents were attorneys around here. He was a serial rapist. That happened for him too because he was well connected. So if you're well connected, you're an attorney or something here, you get off with nothing.
And this is what I think I said it one time. this is what politics buys you.
Yeah.
Get into politics if you want to commit some serious good crime. If you want to, you know what I mean? Get into those committees, get on a Democrat Republican committee here in the county, really get in there, start doing some stuff, say hi to people, get to know people. You can commit murder. We've seen it. It happened. So there's a grown man, there's a bunch of kids there's a couple kids that don't have a father right now because someone who's connected to the parties and, got free, doesn't even, nothing, just go on your way. You killed him. Don't worry. And here you are with this guy. This guy, politics saved him in 2009. When you think about it, sure, you know what I mean? How did he get away with that? All politics.
Yeah.
Right.
Think about the people that failed here.
Oh, yeah.
What a list of failures.
Oh, yeah.
Think about the people who had voices that could have spoke about this too.
Mhm.
Could have used their voice to say something, and then they didn't. Yeah, Brittany, the judge could have said something about the plea deal. She didn't. She was so just.
You need this?
The judge looked like she just didn't even really care to be there. She was just, and she was very nice to Nick. She was not even disgusted whatsoever with Nick.
Be right back.
She was just like making it seem like, oh, Nick, Mr. D'Angelo, are you comfortable with this plea deal? Did anybody force you to take this plea deal? Are you sure this is what you want? Like very, very catering to him. She gives a fuck less about the victims.
Yep.
And you would think too, as a woman, her being a woman, and she would just think differently, but no, she's no better than Judge Murphy.
Nope.
I want to know what they fed her or what deal there was made with her for her to go along with this.
Yeah, she was Judge Murphy. Exactly.
She was Judge Murphy.
She's Judge. It's no different for this guy, because I guess you could almost say and they're all disgusting. So I hate to rank them because it's kind of messed up because the victims are what they are. But he's probably did worse than Belter.
Yeah.
It's probably worse than Belter, honestly. All of it's bad.
Counted together all the victims that there are. He's got more victims than Belter does, that's for sure.
This guy had kept just think about the one alone on the side of the road when you're locking him in the car.
Yeah.
That's worth nothing in this state and in this county.
Yeah.
Nothing. So all I got to tell you is
that's what I mean. Like, okay, so you do that, but you're not a danger to the community.
Right.
So we lock people in cars, but that's
okay.
Not dangerous
that's
or
a date.
Violent.
That you just went on a date that went bad.
Right. Oh yeah, right. At least you got a coffee.
Yeah, at least you got and then he says that to her. After he locks her in the car and rapes her, he says, at least you got a free coffee out of this. That's what he says to her.
I can't read it. You want to read that?
Yeah, they just wanted to clear the dockets and make it go away. These are not victimless crimes. He victimized these women. It will never go away for them. But who will be held accountable if he offends again? I hope and pray that you can be an advocate for the corrupt justice system. The scales of justice are off balance. When someone breaks the law, they need to be held accountable no matter who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. But we got a problem here. And the biggest problem is some of the people have to understand where this comes from.
Mm-hmm.
It starts in politics.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's all politics. This doesn't happen without that.
Yeah.
Right.
D'Angelo worked on Witazik's campaign, worked on the mayor's campaign currently, worked on the other mayor. He's worked on campaigns all over the place. Basso, right? So, and he's involved in there.
And Janelle's brother.
The other one.
Jim.
Yes.
Yeah.
And probably Witazik's brother. I wouldn't be surprised. So think about this.
Andy Tuma.
It's all politics. Everyone has to it's not just, politics isn't just like, I hate it. But the parties control so much. They put do those parties should they really be involved in selecting judges? They're so unethical and disgusting and pigs. Should they be involved in selecting your sheriff, your judge, your DAs? No, but we let them.
Right.
So at some point, man, it's the only way to change it. We can yell and scream all we want, but at some point, people got to realize that that's the root of the evil here.
The other thing is, too, people have to stop accepting inappropriate behaviors from their friends, from their neighbors, from their co-workers, from themselves. You see something inappropriate, when you see a 40-year-old guy with a 21-year-old girl, and the 40-year-old guy,
say something.
Say something.
There's so many people.
And when people are asking you, like I've been for years, to share a fucking post about something, just share a post, get the word out there. That's how it started in the first place, because enough people shared my original post about Nick D'Angelo. It helped. And then after a while, it just died down. People just didn't want to hear it anymore, didn't care to hear it. So now look what it led to, because people didn't want to do that. Katie Riffer said, let's not forget about all the children Nicholas D'Angelo helped traffic to abusers in family court during the time period of his crimes and when he was awaiting trial. Yep. How many children have been affected? I know somebody right now whose child, it's not Nick D'Angelo's child. That's not his biological child, but he took custody of that girl, 50% custody of that girl's kid, and it wasn't even his kid. And so she has to share a kid with this guy, this abuser. And that's, by the way, who owns and runs the Niagara Action page now.
Right.
Nick D'Angelo's, I can't even say baby's mom because it's not his child.
I don't even know what the fuck.
But a girl, his ex-girlfriend is who runs the Niagara Action page. But she's not running it just yet.
Let's just say that he's not supposed to be doing that, right? What the fuck is wrong with people?
So instead of giving it to somebody that he doesn't know and giving it up,
selling it,
make sure he gives it to somebody that he's still
so he can control.
So he can control.
And there's idiots on this. Oh my God, there's imbeciles, idiots, flat out idiots on Facebook and all around, sitting there saying, "Oh, look how nice the Niagara Action is now. They've changed. Look what they're doing."
That's all somebody has to do.
What's wrong with you?
And you just believe it right away, like. No, Nick D'Angelo's still in control of that page.
And they still didn't even care when they knew he was in control.
Yeah, they really didn't.
They don't even care.
I can't tell you how many people send me, not like, oh my God, look at what D'Angelo's doing, but like send me like, ooh, did you see this? And they'll send me something. And it's like, do you not listen?
Do you not even look? Open your eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, Natalie. Somebody has
stop sharing the Niagara Action.
Yeah, Natalie, somebody has custody of a child. Yeah, it's not his biological child, but to have control of her and everything. Because Nick specializes in non-parental rights, he took 50% custody of a child that's not his. So now that's how he used to control her and the child. So now he gets to see this child that's not even his, and this girl has to give him her kid. It's ridiculous.
Why is it okay that the mayor of North Tonawanda knows all about this stuff and said nothing and has said not a fucking word to anyone, and no one wants it? And you know why? Because it's politics.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he knows? He said things to my own ears that I heard myself, but I can't say it because I'm not him. So you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you come forward and say something? I'm so sick of people. You know what? All of this stuff is on. There's a lot of people talking right now, and I'm not talking about in our chat. There's a lot of people talking, man, and they should probably just keep quiet.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, stop.
Yeah, where was your outrage and everything before?
It's easy to talk now when the deal is done.
Right.
Because now there's what are you going to do, right? There's no one that can get on your case. There's no one that can do anything.
Well, and now
stop talking.
And now he took the plea deal, so nobody has to say
Everyone wins.
oh, innocent until proven guilty, or gee, I don't know.
I saw idiots celebrating that literally, and I'm not talking about anyone connected to the case. I'm talking about just people.
Yeah.
What a great day for justice in Niagara County, someone wrote.
Yeah.
But what?
I've seen that too.
Great day. You're such a political asshole that you can't even see when things are fucked. Because that's what that is.
Yeah.
You're so in tune with your party and your politics, you can't even see when people are getting raped in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
You
fucking. It happened to you or your child or somebody though. We'll see what a great fucking day it is.
We're gonna take a commercial because I'm gonna need some water and regroup, because you know what? I hate politics so much around here.
Yeah.
I hate it. But you're watching it at its most disgusting.
Yeah.
It's protecting murderers and rapists right in front of you, and some people will still go and vote for these two pieces of shit parties. And be happy about it. We'll be back in about a minute and a half.
Digits 988 can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides connection to free confidential support. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988.
thank you to our sponsors and everything. And don't forget stars if you want to give us any. We appreciate them, and they certainly go a long way in helping us maybe gain some advertising on Facebook, along with helping us update our whatever, our systems, maybe get a new camera, do things like that. And then someday we will be getting into the predator business. It's coming really soon. As soon as we get this finality here.
Stars,
thank you. Thank you for anyone who sent stars. Thank you very much. All right, back to this. There was something I was going to say. Now, we don't know. Did we talk about what happened? He already went to court. It's city court for where he tried to tamper with.
Yeah, I guess the same day he pled not guilty. I guess a grand jury indicted him on all those charges, but he pled not guilty, which is funny to me because they have his DNA evidence to prove that he did it.
And isn't it funny that the DNA thing? Well, thank God it's Erie County, I hope, and not Niagara County.
Niagara County.
Ooh.
Niagara.
And Niagara County's messed up with their DNA.
Seaman.
And their DNA is messed
up. Oh wait,
up.
no, the Erie County lab, I think,
is the one that got the. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how Seaman can do this, considering that D'Angelo. There's a photo. I don't know if you know this. There's something. There's some kid. I don't know. Do you remember this story? There was a kid in North Tonawanda who was being bullied, and some other kid helped them. Like two kids helped them, so people stopped bullying. One was they were giving him an award, and Caroline Watazik was there giving the kid the award, and Seaman was there also. And
took their picture.
Yes, that's because the reasoning that we would think that is it ended up on the Niagara Falls report. It ended up on the reporter.
Yeah.
And ended up on Seaman's site.
Yeah.
So how don't you think there might don't tell me he doesn't know who D'Angelo is. He's trying to say he doesn't.
He also don't. Oh wait, he's trying to say he doesn't.
He doesn't know him.
He's such a fucking liar.
Of course he knows him.
He also donated to Janelle Fossil's campaign that Nick D'Angelo worked on. So he knows D'Angelo. He's such a liar. He shouldn't be allowed on this case.
Nope, and he's going to just get away with the skill. What could he get anyway? He's not going to get nothing for this. This is useless. I don't even care about. Honestly, at the point where the judge, the one time we were there, didn't care that he tried to screw with the DA.
Yeah.
The DA's husband. The DA didn't care. At this point, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Let me do that to the DA's husband.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
I wish you'd do more.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You know what? Maybe people need more.
Yeah.
Maybe more needs to be done.
Yeah.
What do you need, DA? What do you need him to do to teach you that he's not a good person?
I have suggestions.
I know.
So I think I don't know if it's trial, but I know the next court date for him is June 23rd for the fraud charges. I read. July 6th is the sentencing.
No one cares. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, good. What's he gonna do? What are they gonna do over there? They didn't hold him accountable for this.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
What are you going to hold him accountable for? Passing a check with someone's name on it?
Right. And did they totally forget about when he tried tampering with the evidence with the CPS case, when he tried calling a supervisor from CPS and getting information on the minor?
Right.
Like that was just.
He was told, don't do it again.
Yeah, that's what the judge did.
Don't do that.
Judge Given.
Yeah, just Given. It's your D'Angelo. You should know better than that. Like she was talking to a 2-year-old.
Right.
More politics in this. The Erie County people come in and honestly don't care because we can't vote for them anyways.
Right.
So it just don't matter. We can't vote. We could never vote for Judge Givens or against her. We can't vote for the DA. You know what I mean? So,
no, but if she ever reruns or anything or whatever, if she runs for anything else, I'll make sure I tell everybody not to fucking vote.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody who did vote for her, you made a huge mistake.
Yeah, because look at what happened here.
Yeah.
What a mistake going to Erie County.
She should be going national just like Murphy did.
She should. She could be crying.
Yeah.
She should be so upset. I don't know how, when I read you these charges that he pled guilty to, how it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, D'Angelo engaged in sexual intercourse with an underage victim on his boat and in his car. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for her. Should we applaud?
That's literally how her reaction was and everything. Oh.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
That's what goes on.
I think that's what people think.
Sexual contact by forceful compulsion at his law office in Lockport.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to do? It's a bad. That's just like, if you went to the store and you didn't have your bonus card. What are you going to do? You got forcibly compulsed. What can you do?
This was weird too. Remember they were trying to sell that office?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody bought it. They were trying to sell a crime scene. It was known as a crime scene.
And they don't care.
No.
Because no one calls it what it is.
No.
You call it what it is.
Yeah.
We'll call it what it is, but no one will call it a crime scene.
No.
They don't call it that because they barely even think it's a crime.
Yeah.
By the looks of it. Who is the ringleader? Who is the kingpin? Well, when you really sit back and think about it, you got a bunch of people who are very powerful in this area, right? And the Wataziks are one of them, no doubt. His buddy Parlato's another one. You've got those are two of the probably right now some of the most powerful people in this area. Those two, and those are his buddies. So when they're friends, it's gonna be hard. Basso's another one.
Basso's a huge. Let's not forget, she also was telling one of the victims, not to come forward. If she came forward, she would make it so she lost her job. She would make the victim would lose her job if she came forward and said anything against Nick D'Angelo. Janelle Faso did that.
Yeah. So you add her to the list.
Yeah.
She's probably a little lower level. Because when you talk about Parlato and Wojtaszek, these people are connected like beyond.
Yeah.
They're to New York. They're like, they're to Albany.
Right.
They're like, that's big money stuff there. You can't get around that. And those are there's your kingpins. There you are. And people will continue to vote for Fasos. People will continue to vote for Wojtaszek's. Mm-hmm. People will continue to whatever Parlato does and take and even pay attention to it, knowing that he's going to get away with what he's going to get away with, because soon he's going to get sentenced. And you know what's going to happen? Just like this guy, nothing will happen.
Right.
So you have someone out there that I'm not going to be able to mention the name because I'll probably get in, and I don't need it. I don't need any more issues with these motherfuckers. Killed somebody and got away with it.
Right.
There's a guy who was in his 30s, I think, who is dead, and his kids have no father because this guy thought that he could do whatever he wanted on the road because he's connected to all these people we just mentioned.
Yeah, and he owns a restaurant, by the way.
Right, and he drives the tow truck. And this guy is nothing.
Seaman hasn't done anything about that.
No.
Brian Seaman hasn't done a damn thing. He's the DA on this. He's trying to make it go away.
And they're going to make it go away, aren't they? They really are. Because you get
Wasn't
victims that are vulnerable.
With a less connected donor.
Someone else did too. They hit somebody. Yeah. Hit a bicycle person.
Well,
but you can do that here. That's my point. You can
we can just rape and murder as long as we know.
As long as you have either donated to political parties a lot.
No, but I got a few people I'd like to murder, right. So maybe I'll just start donating.
Get in there. And you become a Democrat or Republican or both. Because you can do it both all ways. That way you cover your tracks. And you're good.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And people think it's a joke. Well, you're watching a rapist. You've seen 2 people killed. And no one cares. No one gives it. The Gazette had that in the front page of the paper. And they don't even remember it happened.
Right.
Think about that. They don't even remember that. But what about the victims? Like the guy's dead. He's got 2 little kids. He's got a family. What are those people like? What are they thinking? Now you think about it though. It's like think about when someone dies in your family and you're all messed up about it. And you go to the funeral home and they extort you because you're all screwed up. You're messed up, and you got to buy the best casket.
Right.
And it's $10,000. You know what I mean? You get extorted. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what this is. It's kind of extortion in a way, because the DAs can come to the victims and say, the victims are probably looking for someone to defend them. And they think these people are.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And they say to you, oh, yeah, we're going to, and they make them feel good. They know how to do it.
They do. They did to me. They made me feel hopeful for a little bit.
Well,
and there's no hope.
And they feed them the line that the probation is going to take care of it.
Yeah.
And if the victims aren't paying attention and they don't know any better, of course they're going to trust the DA. That's what they.
Well, that's what they would do.
That's why it's not on the victims.
And the minute the DA,
the DA is a scummy bitch for.
Well, think about it. The minute the DA can say
to people into thinking that this is some kind of justice.
But I don't even think that's what happens. I think the DA just says, "Look, you don't have to testify anymore." Yeah. That's what they're deathly afraid of, is testifying. So when they tell them that, they're like, "Oh, good,
yeah,
thank you." Yeah. And you're telling me without me having to do that, we got him.
Yeah,
he's gonna get it because when he goes on his phone, you know what I mean. He's gonna go away.
Totally make him believe that if he violates probation, he's
bullshit.
Gonna go away for 44 years. So they're thinking that he's gonna violate his probation, gonna go away for 44 years. That's how it's gonna happen.
Well, I hope everyone that I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Like, I hope everyone's happy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we have a group of people that know what's going on.
Yeah.
A lot of websites, a lot of Facebook pages, a lot of places just ignored this too. Not just the Niagara Action.
Right.
Quite a number of them did. There's quite a few.
Oh, yeah.
That just ignored this whole situation. And there's more situations coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? This isn't the last chance. You're going to get more. And what are you going to do about it?
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you going to do about it out there? What are you going to do when this happens again? Because it is.
Right.
It's coming. Niagara Falls schools are coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. There's more things coming down the pipe. The next time you see the guy that murders that kills someone because they're being negligent because they think they are better than everyone else, and you find out who they're connected to, what do? What are we going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. You're going to sit there and take it, and then at some point when it's all said and done with, you'll chime in and say, "Oh, this is horrible. This here, what happened here? We seen it coming like a sucker punch."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did. You saw it coming. We might get some hope here and there, but you knew what was going to happen here. Belter showed you.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's identical.
For everybody, that's what I'm saying. For everybody who's so hopeful about the probation bullshit, look at the Belter case.
Right.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's the perfect case. It showed you what's going to happen here. And shortly, he'll be out of prison in 4 months. So what? So it'll be around October or something.
Yeah.
He'll be out for Halloween. Perfect.
Yeah.
And we'll see him.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Someone will contact you and say, "Oh, I see him over here on the phone." And what do you want from me now? Yeah. What do you want me to? That's what it'll be. What's going to be said. What do you want me to do?
You know what? Everybody should be given his probation officer's number. His
probation
probation officer's number should be given to everybody. That's what needs to happen.
And you'll never get it.
People should be
right. You'll be. That'll be.
And you know what? Where he lives here in an elementary school. He lives near St. John's Elementary School. Are they going to warn St. John's Elementary? Are they going to go and warn everybody who lives around there? Are they going to warn people in the neighborhood?
They may not even.
Well, I will. If they don't, I will. I will make sure.
They're going to make him a level 1 registry. Right. He's going to be the lowest. He's going to be. They're not even going to put him on the registry.
They'll do like level 1 or 2.
And he'll be on for 10 years.
Yeah. Think about 20. I think they said 20. But so what?
His minimum.
Yeah.
For level 1.
What? Since when is being a sex offender? What?
In the registry. Didn't see nothing.
Oh. I have seen things. Well, since when does being a sex offender not mean that you're a sex offender for life? Like you're just 20 years and then it's over with?
Right.
Like, oh, you're only a sex offender for 20 years.
Look how messed up we are. Look at this. And this is why the next time someone runs, like I don't like to have politicians on here. We don't do that. The next time someone runs for state stuff, we got to get them here and ask them, what are you going to do about this? Because this is, they're the lawmakers.
Oh, Scott, I will definitely contact you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, he is an elector.
That's right, at the church.
Yeah.
Oh,
then he tried taking that off his little thing, saying that he's an elector there.
He gives off communion. He does it all. What a place for him to be.
Oh, yeah. How many people at that church have been raped? I already know of one.
Dear God, man.
Is based off blowing
the
loudspeaker and exposing all
predators bullshit. Remember it in 2 years when Niagara Falls City Court judges up to sure. Remember all that. But you know what? I'm so jaded and disgusted.
I know.
Here's the problem. You won't have anyone to choose from.
No.
There'll be no one running. There'll be nothing.
No, we had one person that would have been perfect for judge. We were trying to get that out there, but people.
He had no chance.
No, he had no chance, Scott, because
he had no chance.
He was great for it.
Yeah.
Dominic Saraceno should have been the judge. He should have. And what I liked is what he said the one day is victims shouldn't have to wait 2 years for their day in court. They shouldn't have to wait this long. And that's one thing he said to me too, is I stand by victims. I stand by sexual assault victims. Like I've never heard a judge say that. Then there's another judge running against him who hates victims, who goes after rape victims, and that bitch fucking gets them.
Of course she would. Right. And whenever she would come up to run again, there'll be no one to run against her.
No.
They set it up that way. They set it up the way they did so Saraceno wouldn't win.
Yeah, they did that.
They set it up because he didn't back off, so he still ran, so they made sure they ended it.
Nick tampered with shit and was able to attack Dominic Saraceno through the whole entire thing. So after he's charged of he's attacking Dominic Saraceno, making up fake accounts. Making up all this fake accounts. Yeah, writing racist articles. Him and Janelle Faso, they wrote racist articles against somebody. And nobody cared. Nobody looked into that. Nobody gave a shit.
Nope. No one gives a damn.
I mean, people usually get pissed off when it comes to people with racism. When people do racist things, people usually get pissed off. But they let Janelle Faso and Nick D'Angelo slide with that one.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They do not care, man. It doesn't matter. It's name recognition, right?
Yeah.
And it's
so you can be racist as long as you're a Faso.
Yes. Who would ever hold them accountable? Right. You can't be held accountable. Right. There's no one to do it. There's no one to hold anyone accountable for anything that's involved with those like they are,
Yeah.
when you have someone who's going to run for an office, all right, Saraceno runs, right? Fossil was running. I'd love to ask him this question. How many times did people ask him to drop out?
Right.
It had to be a lot in the beginning, I'm sure, because they do that. They say, hey, not your turn, next time.
Right.
Because they like to have their judges unopposed.
Right.
Generally, they don't like to have, I notice, races.
Yeah.
They want to just have their DAs. They want to have it set. They don't want these people to have to. It was like when what's his name? Felicetti. Was that his name? The judge? Why am I? The DA, sheriff, whatever. Okay. When Greer ran against him,
right?
That was a big. They were going to kill him because he decided to. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they want what they want, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That's a part of it, though. I'm going to say is our fault, our own fault for allowing it to be that way. The voter lets it happen. The people that should have has the power that doesn't want it and just gives it to them.
Yeah.
Right. They're why DeAngelo is where he is today. I'm sorry, they are the people. Our DA jumps in the lake, or not our DA, our sheriff.
Yeah.
He jumps in the lake
Nick
and he eats sandwiches.
Right.
And that's because he's a politician. He's doing He's doing things that someone who's running for mayor would do.
Yeah.
But he's your sheriff. What the hell do you see?
Yeah, I remember the sheriff told me that he would help me at one point get a
restraining
order. That never happened. He didn't get fucked enough to do that.
Could care less.
No, he just wanted to sound good because I was talking shit about him on Facebook. He wanted that to sound.
The best thing is that it was out of their hands. Yeah. They loved it when it was out of their hands. I bet you when it went to state police, they probably breathed a sigh of relief. They're like, "Oh, thank God."
Why won't they give you a restraining order? Did they ever say?
They don't mind because she's not in the. If she was in the Democrat or Republican Party, she'd get one. Guaranteed she would. They'd run over to give it to her. She wouldn't even have to ask. Think about that. There's no doubt. I don't know. I hope that people out there that are the way they are don't ever have to deal with the stuff that you deal with, Robin deals with, and then us family people deal with.
Yeah.
Because it's shit. It's terrible. And I don't think anyone cares.
No.
Honestly, after watching this and watching the news coverage of it all, I don't know how many times I got to say it, but Channel 2, 4, and 7 here in Western New York are useless.
Fair.
I mean, that Channel 7 thing, how late? I've been saying this all day. Maybe I didn't say it on here, but I said it before. They see Noelle's TikTok and say, oh, this TikTok from this woman in December, she is complaining about, whatever, but you did nothing about it until it was too late to do anything about it.
Right.
So you're just a waste of time. Oh, yeah, and they just throw away Felicetti's kids' DWI.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was a whole story in itself when you listen to that.
And that's just waiting to hurt someone.
Right.
Yeah, and of course, if they do, what's gonna happen?
Right. And then that'll be
nothing.
Just
a sad family who's gonna lose a mother or father or a kid.
Right.
That's all that's left.
Yep.
And those people here's the thing that's really screwed up about this, and I think they know it. You have those situations, the family of the people that got killed, they're fucked up, right? So they don't got time. Like they're done. They know they're done.
Right.
They're not gonna 9 times out of 10 they're not fighting nothing. They just got to deal with their own issues.
Right.
They just lost somebody who works or whatever. All kinds of things. We love this person, their dad, their mom. We're fighting. I don't know. This was the most to me, it wasn't a good day. It was the most disgusting thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
When I heard that your case and the others were thrown out, I was just shocked.
I was pissed.
Everyone should be outraged by that because we got you right here. They didn't tell you they were doing that.
No, they didn't tell. You know what? There was another victim too who was pissed, who was given the papers to go to trial. Like, you have to go to trial and testify and everything. She wasn't told about this plea deal. She wasn't told or talked to about any of it. She was ready to go to trial. She wanted to. She was prepared for it. And this girl's sick and everything with cancer too, and she was prepared for this, and she's pissed. So to say this is a win for everybody, it's not. It's disgusting.
I wonder what we can do. I mean, there's nothing we can do, but I wonder if people realize what has happened. I mean, I don't even know. See, the thing is, I always say this because I get this like unicorns in my head, I guess, thinking that everything's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, I think, what are people going to do if they hear about this? No, I think nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, because really, when you sit and think about it, 3 crimes were investigated, violent crimes were investigated by the New York State Police, and somehow magically they're gone. That's it.
Right.
They don't count no more. So you're telling me they didn't happen?
Let's not forget, Angelo Morinello could have done something too about
originally
this could have done something about this. And who was Nick posting on the Niagara Action not too long ago? Angelo Morinello.
Yeah.
He could have done something. He was the first one who could have done something.
Absolutely.
He was the first politician that stepped in and saved him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the first one. And then it just gone downhill ever since. And then you think about through the years, how many people he's probably raped. Mm-hmm. My God. Mm-hmm. From the time right there, right? How many people did he rape before then even?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people.
And I wonder if people realize, and I don't know, do they realize that people don't stop doing these acts? These acts continue.
If everyone could just see my inbox, the messages in my inbox of people who have stories about him and what he's done.
Maybe they'd come forward someday now that it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? So it would be interesting to someday have a whole
just
let it out there, even though I know it don't matter, but maybe someone out there will think twice again. I don't, because now we're at a situation where we can't do anything. Now we just got to do things going forward.
Yeah.
Like they've already fucked this over.
Right.
So now the next step is what? Like that's what part of what I was going to ask you is what's the next step? And I guess the next step is the next time. We just keep going and going to the next case because it doesn't end.
Right.
And
people aren't even going to want to come forward because they see what the outcome is. They see how long they dragged it out for 3 fucking years, all for this. Like, who wants to have something dragged out that long, all for this?
And I think that's their, like, I really think that's their plan, is like to make sure that that people see this and think twice about coming forward. Because the DAs, we listen to people tell us that the Child Victims Act, which only lasted for a year, no one wanted that. That after it expired, like it was, no one wants that. Why would we ever reinstate it? No one wants it.
Right.
And that's your elected official saying that. Listen, we got an elected official, a guy who was in the Democrat. This is going to be sick. Steve Pigeon. Mm-hmm. Think about this. You know where he is right now? He's down in Florida with Tom Golisano.
He's still in Florida?
Yeah, he's down there working with Tom Golisano.
Did he get in trouble for going to Florida and not showing up to a court date?
He's still there.
Wow.
Because he's working with Golisano.
Why? He used to rape, a 9-year-old or something like that?
Allegedly, yes. And people are telling me that they don't believe that really happened. I was told that today by someone, that they're not, that seems out of his character.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So how would you know the character of a 9-year-old rapist?
Because what is the character of the pedophile who rapes the 9-year-old?
Right.
And if you know the character of the pedophile that rapes the 9-year-old, then why are you even associating with this person and not?
My question was to the person, is the 9-year-old not real? Are you telling me it's a fake? Now, if you're telling me this is fake, the 9-year-old does not exist. Right. If this 9-year-old exists, then you're mean to tell me someone has now used that 9-year-old in a fake way to say they were raped by this guy.
And plus, why would he be trying to stop the families from talking? Why would he go to their house and try to shut them up? And
the cops had to come.
Yeah.
He's in Florida. Now, as I said, Tom Golisano, let's not forget him. He's very powerful, too, here in Niagara Falls.
Uh-huh.
Him, Parlato, that whole group, they're all together. That's what I mean. This is a huge, powerful group of people, billionaires. It's a mess. We've allowed it to happen, but you got to call it the way it is and who's doing what. These people aren't our friends.
No.
They're our enemies. They don't give a damn. That 9-year-old girl may have been raped, maybe not, but I'm going to say this. I'd like to know the parent I'd like to know the parent who would make that up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What parent would make that up?
I'm going to go with it.
0.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone's making that up.
No.
It's because it's a child. They twist the words of the children and blame them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. We got to go here soon. Now it's already 7 o'clock. I could go all night because this is the thing that we do. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
So what is next? Nothing. Yeah. Really? So he's going to get sentenced, and it doesn't matter if he's level 3 would mean he'd be on the registry for life, I think.
Yeah.
There's no way he's level 3, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get to 20 years. So in the state's eyes, after 20 years, he's no longer a sex offender. Right? That's what it's telling you.
You're only sex offender for so long.
You know what else I know? There's some sex offenders that I see on the registry, that I see on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
That I see talking shit and talking. Mm-hmm. And what are they doing? If they're on the why are they online?
I know exactly.
Yeah. Why are they on there? Mm-hmm. And I'll give you the confirmation. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I seen him commenting on this one too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he had something to say on the Nick D'Angelo thing too.
Of course he does.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. He's on there. Well, they let him go, right? Because he got the 10-year. They dropped it. Now he's no longer one. Yeah. He's good.
Of course, he's good.
And all of these child rapists that were running around.
I wish I had like my scan gun at work where I could just go around and scan the people that are pedophile and like put them on the list. Like you, I know you are.
I'm sorry, but if you're gonna be on the list, you should be on the list for life.
Yeah,
that's what it needs to be for life. So I don't know who the fuck thinks that this is a win.
It's not a win. This is sad. It's a sad, disgusting day.
And how many people sit there and look up the list?
No,
right.
Like how many people really sit there and do that? Not many people at all.
None. You don't. It doesn't happen. And this is a disgrace. This is what they do. And they don't even care if it's children being raped. They don't care if it's adult. They don't care. No, they treat it equally. They never stop offending. You're right, Melody. They never do, and they never will. And they're hidden very well by our system for some reason. They really take care of them.
Yeah.
They make sure they're okay. And can the list be posted? Yes, there is a list. If you want to go to the Niagara County, Suzanne, if you go to the Sheriff's Department, they have the list. The sex offender registry.
There's a sheriff's app too. You could you just go online.
Yeah.
And look it up, and they'll show you. Put Niagara County Sex Offender Registry list.
You'll go right to the Niagara County Sheriff's Department.
Katie said, and this is why mothers are forced into hiding to protect their children. Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely right.
And then they tried giving Katie Nick D'Angelo as a lawyer. They give somebody who's already abused and going through hell. They tried giving her to Nick D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Like I had to call that place. I think it was UB or something like that. I had to call them and cuss them out.
Can you imagine? Yes, I remember that. I remember all.
Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
The Katie Rifford story.
Katie, I'd love to have you on here.
Yeah, whenever you feel like it, that'd be great. We could talk all night. I just know that like there's a story that's just unfucking believable. Yeah. And at this point, I don't even know what's happening. Right? There's no more charges, but there was a charge. Like remember, there was a warrant.
Yeah.
Fake. I don't even know what the hell's going on, and no one cares. And by the way, Grand Island is still doing what it does too. Let's not forget about that.
Nick's going over there.
He should get it. Yeah, it's probably open with welcome. Yeah. He could probably give communion.
Yeah.
And do everything there, whatever the frick they do. I guess we should probably wrap it up. It's already past 7. Tomorrow, Rob, I have a special interview with Demetrius Nix tomorrow. Oh. He's suing the Niagara County Board of Elections because they threw him off the ballot.
Really?
And he's legitimately suing them. He's got a lawyer. I got the paperwork, and they threw him off the ballot, and it appears. I'll tell you real quick. The freaking parties. I don't know why he did this. He got a bunch of people, like hundreds of people, to register to vote.
Yeah.
And after he got them to register to vote, they signed his petition, and they said you can't do it, which I think is against. I don't think that's true. But so he's going to be on tomorrow. We're going to talk to him for about 20, 30 minutes and see where he's going. There's a lot of shit going on with him. It's insane.
And didn't he just lose a child?
He did just lose his. Yes, that was very sad.
Yeah.
A couple 3 months ago. Yeah, little one too.
Yeah.
Like 6 maybe. So and they keep on screwing with him. So we'll see what happens there. So Robin's show will have that. I think it's a pre-recorded video. I'm doing it in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be out. We'll release it at 6 o'clock. Okay. What else, Robin? What other shows do we do? We got the Friday Spitball and Sports podcast with me and Scott. The wrestling. Right. Saturday at Falls County, anywhere at 2 o'clock. And us. We'll be here every Monday.
Yes.
With a lot of stuff. Please, and you said this one time, but really, if you got anything that you want us to look into.
Yeah, come to us. We will be glad to share your story. We don't talk just about rapists and pedophiles.
No,
I mean, anything that's
everything.
messed up and corrupt and that needs to be out there, we will be glad to do.
Yeah, that's what we're here for pretty much. And I think we've learned a lot too on how to do it after all the courts and cease and desist. I think we've learned a lot how to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We should have Jerry and Gail back.
Yeah, they will be next week.
That'll be nice.
Yay!
That'll be good. I know
and the dogs.
Oh my God, that's the one thing I miss right now is the dogs running around.
No,
I miss the dogs.
We definitely, I miss Jerry and Gail though. That'll be nice to have them back. And anything else happens, Noelle's site. Her page always has everything.
Share this too, guys. Hit the share button.
Share us, please. The other thing is we're on TikTok now. Citizens United with John and Noelle is on there. There is a Twitter account for us. If you just put in Citizens United with John and Noelle, it'll come up our Twitter page. And of course, Friends Media Network is where you can find all of our YouTube videos and stuff. I kind of feel, I don't know. I knew I was going to feel like this after the show tonight.
I feel drained.
Yeah, I feel drained. And I feel kind of just really, I guess you kind of almost feel defeated.
Yeah.
Because there comes a point where it's like, I don't know what's left.
Yeah.
With this.
Right.
I mean, what's left? There's nothing. We can't appeal nothing. You can't do nothing.
Civilly, I'm going after.
Civilly, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. What I want to do, though, is, and I think we will do this, we keep an eye on when Flynn and Gibbons and all these people are doing whatever. I don't care. I don't care who's running against them.
Right.
It wouldn't. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't care anything. I just want them out.
Right.
Don't give a damn who steps in. Yeah. We do have elections coming up soon, and I got to tell you, I don't know what you think. I don't really care about them, honestly. I mean, if someone wanted to come on here, they could ask.
Yeah.
Maybe. I just don't even know anymore.
I don't either.
Like state, you know what I want? I want a New York State person. I want those people that are running for assembly to come on here because I want to ask them about terms of what is it? Limitations, statutes of limitations. I really want to know what they think about it. All right, let's get out of here. Anyhow.
Is it true that the big bad wolf blew Fossil's house down?
You know what? They're living great. She's like the new chief judge over there.
Yeah.
So she just got a big raise. These people are making $200,000 a year.
She needs to get slapped.
Working part-time.
I hear she's allegedly using the extra money for wieners and cocaine.
Oh.
Definitely using it for cocaine, that's for sure. I know too many people.
Is it because she wants the women to what? Don't mess with.
Oh, because the action's asking them to asking everybody to message them a heartwarming story. Like,
are you?
Yeah. Just so everybody know, Niagara Action is still connected to Nick D'Angelo. Still.
Oh my God, okay. Melody, thank you, and thank everybody that gives us stuff. Thank you for just watching and sharing. Because I know you guys out there. I know we're preaching to the choir sometimes.
Yeah.
But we'll just share it along. Well, what do you got going on after this? Kids, huh?
Kids. Yeah.
What do we have?
Oh. Food.
I was just about to say food.
Dinner, yeah, food for Rob. Right, yeah, Robin, you worked all day.
Yeah.
So you're tired. Good for you. Way to go. All right, why don't we go home, guys? We'll be back next week and we'll have a full house again. Yeah. So we'll have Jerry and Gail and dogs and everybody and stuff. So share this.
Yes, please share it.
Go to Noelle's TikTok. If you're on TikTok, go to Noelle's pages, all that stuff, because I basically steal from you and put it on our page.
Yeah.
On our page. So you'll see it there first, but if you miss it, you'll see it on ours too. I occasionally write some shit, but I usually get mad and stuff. So anyways, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.